So this is a pretty big story. As you guys know, there's going to be an increase in mail-in voting because of COVID, and Republicans and Trump, they don't like mail-in voting because they want less people to vote. The less people that vote, the higher the likelihood of Republicans winning. That's why they gerrymander. That's why they purge voter rolls. That's why they cheat left and right. Republicans are big, big, big election cheaters. They don't want more people to vote in the election. So this is an article out of Politico. It reads, Trump exploring executive actions to curb voting by mail. So it's already started, basically. The full-fledged assault on voting by mail has already started. And it says, in the weeks since, Trump's campaign and the Republican National Committee have taken to the courts dozens of times as part of a $20 million effort to challenge voting rules, including filing their own lawsuits in several battleground states, including Minnesota, Pennsylvania, and Nevada. And around the time Trump started musing about delaying the election last week, aides and outside advisors began scrambling to ponder possible executive actions he could take to curb mail-in voting, everything from directing the Postal Service to not deliver certain ballots to stopping local officials from counting them after Election Day. It says the actions can only make so much of a difference before November. Elections are mostly run at the state and local level and are subject to congressional authority. And some fellow Republicans are warning the president privately and publicly that attempts to restrict mail-in ballots could actually hurt the GOP in November, scaring Republicans from voting remotely, even if they also refuse to vote in person during a pandemic. New polling has fueled these concerns. And so what's going on is he's basically trying to curb mail-in voting, lower mail-in voting, and to essentially prevent more people from voting because he's really scared he's going to lose. As you guys should all be aware, he's getting creamed in pretty much all of the polling data that we have right now, and so I'm sure he's getting scared. I'm sure the Republicans are getting scared, and I'm thinking that the Republicans are probably starting to think what their future is past Donald Trump, where they're going to even go past Donald Trump, because during the election in 2016, they tried to be like, oh no, Trump is an outlier, man. We're not as horrible as he is, sort of as outwardly horrible as he is. But then once he got elected, that kind of shifted, and they just kind of turned into, oh, okay, we're gonna full throttle defend Donald Trump. We're gonna totally 180 on what we said earlier, because we have to. But let's make no mistake about it. Republicans in general are big cheaters when it comes to voting. It's not like Donald Trump is some specific, exception. He might do it more outwardly, or he might do it a tad bit more, but Republicans are massive cheaters, in terms of elections. Purging voter rolls, gerrymandering, not counting votes, stopping recounts as it happened in 2000. So this is definitely a big deal, and we'll try to keep a lookout on this because it does seem to be the case that Trump is trying to steal the election to prevent his loss.